Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, September the 13th, 2023. Wednesday, September the 13th. Let's dive right in and see what is going on in Genoa City land. Let's go to, who am I going to first? What do you think's going to happen here, everybody? Summer, because see, I'm grown and I moved on. She sees Chance and Sharon walking across and sitting in a park bench looking at each other, all giddy eyed at each other. And she's like, mm-hmm. So she comes walking over there. Hi, you two. Then Chance stands up, Summer, hi, blah, 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 whatever. And she goes, yeah, she just got back from a trip in Milan and it went well. And she's just as if they weren't talking to each other. She completely goes in, interjects herself, and takes over the conversation. To Chance, that is. Chance helped me. Well, talking at Sharon, pretty much looking at Chance so that Sharon knew exactly what she was doing. See, it's interesting to me. A man don't want to know. Just it's just Summer. Don't want to know. Sharon, a woman, oh, she knew exactly what Summer was doing. Through one of our conversations, Chance helped me so much with our mini conversations. Oh, mini conversations. I recently found myself on a roller coaster as a result of one of our conversations. Thank you, Chance. I'm sorry, Summer. I remember that conversation very well. You thought of going on a roller coaster. He didn't think of that. And then you wanted him to go with you, and he didn't go. So he didn't suggest go get on a roller coaster. You did, Summer. And then Chance, blah, blah, blah. And Sharon is just kind of looking, well, good. Sounds like you're in a good place, Summer. And so she's talking about, my dad, I hear my dad is on the Pacific, the West Coast. She goes, yes, doing business for Kirsten. I'm on my way to the East Coast to go do business. So someone goes, oh, so you're going out of town. And in her mind, ding, ding, ding. And so Chance was trying to see if he could clear his schedule to go. But he ends up, I think he takes a call. I forget how it happens. He ends up telling Sharon, I can't clear my schedule. I can, because he was good. She goes, yeah, she wanted Chance to go with. There's no mistaking that Chance and Sharon are seeing each other. They haven't labeled their relationship, no, but there's no mistaking they are seeing each other, right? So Summer goes, oh, okay, so you're going out of town. And then she hears Chance can't. Well, you have a good trip. And so they stand up and Chance says, Sharon, let me take you to the airport. And Sharon's like, I don't want to have to put you out. And he goes, no, it's no put out at all. I insist. Oh, so he says something almost like, I insist. So she's like, well, I wouldn't want to disappoint you. And Summer's just standing there, right? So as they're getting ready to leave, Chance says, okay, bye, Summer. And it was kind of a half sideway hug. Good to see you. And as there is Summer, and Sharon says, bye, Summer. She goes, oh, have us, bye. And see, in my mind, I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken, that's the first, even though it wasn't overly or it was innocent, I think that's the first physical contact Chance and Summer had with each other. Correct me if I'm wrong. YNR recap land, has there been any other to where she's crying and he consoles her and he hugs her? I don't think so. Because my whole thing is, oh, no, 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 no. You guys aren't friends like that. To where you leave, you guys got to hug each other. See, because that's when Summer's going to start hanging on a little longer. See, those goodbye hugs don't stay innocent. They turn into frontal hug, because that was clearly you could tell we're not close. Now him and Sharon, they close, right? But how better of a way to start to get close than every time I see you now, I got to hug you high and hug you goodbye. See, they still need personal space boundaries, Chance. And you should know that. That's all I got to say. Because as they walked away, and Sharon's got his arm, and they're looking at each other, talking and walking, you could clearly see Chance's into Sharon, right? Summer's just looking at them like, I'm getting ready to start some mess. Then she starts remembering the different conversations she and Chance had. And when they came out of her little daydreams, she's like, no, I'm getting him. Yeah, she's going to start. Let's face it, Summer can be messy. She is Phyllis's daughter in a heartbeat. Okay. So now we have Esther. And I'm sorry, everybody. I think Esther was way, way out of line. Okay, Adam, Esther is a paying customer. And not only is Adam a paying customer, Sharon likes Adam. Esther was talking very disrespectful to him. You don't change. You haven't changed. You see, Sharon's not even in business with you anymore. And I'm thinking, whoa, 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 Esther, no. No, because we haven't forgotten how messy your daughter is. Now, I can understand her still having a grudge because it was Adam that killed Delia, but it was an accident. But, the way he covered it up, I mean, whatever. Because your granddaughter's dead. However, that don't give you carte blanche to just do what you do. And Nikki comes up at the end of Esther telling him about how he doesn't change, and he just squanders every opportunity. Oh my goodness, no. And so she comes up, my thoughts exactly. I was hoping I would run into you, Adam. Can we have a word? So they go out on the patio, and he says, oh, I'm sure Victor told you about our conversation. Victor and I talk about pretty much everything. And I was like, everything that he wants to talk about. Victor does a whole lot of stuff he doesn't tell Nikki about, and never has. My baby, my baby, my baby. She don't know everything. Oh, but she has the nerve to, pretty much, I know you're lying. This is one of your schemes, and I'm here to warn you. Stay away from my family. Stay away from whoa, whoa. Leave Victor alone. Or what did she say? Something about his miserable life. Or I'll take care of your miserable life, or something about his miserable life. And she gets up and walks away. And Adam's looking at her like, whatever, right? And I was like, see, Nikki's always miserable life. She's never given Adam any kind of, yes, Adam did. Look, I'm not forgetting the horrible things Adam did. From changing Victor's medication almost killed. I mean, come on now. I'm not going to throw too much shade Nikki's way, but stay out of it. Make your feelings known to Victor, and let Victor take care of Adam any way he sees fit. That is not your flesh and blood. That's Victor's flesh and blood. So Adam just looked at her as she walked away like, whatever. And then guess what he did? Now, this is a little bit later because he talked to Victoria first, and I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, but I want to talk about all that at once. He shows up at Newman Enterprises, and Victor says, well, Adam, son, well, what are you doing here? He goes, I'm happy you both together. And Nikki's like, Nikki was already pissed at what Victor did earlier. And she looks at him. He goes, I wanted to come and clear the air. And Victor said, clear the air about what? Oh, Nikki talked to me earlier. And then Nikki really, she's kind of like, uh-oh. Hmm. So you gonna tell everything? She told me that I'm not sincere and to stay away from the family and the company. And Victor looks like, oh, she did, huh? And Nikki's like, pretty much like, I can't believe he came and outed me like that. And he says, and Nikki, I'm here to tell you, you don't intimidate me. Yeah. And she's like, I am sincere. I meant what I said. I am going to prove myself to my father, and I'm going to prove myself to whoever else is going to notice that I'm proving myself. Like, you know what? He can't change everybody's mind. Only thing he can do is do him and prove himself. And really, Victor is the only one he needs to prove it to. He didn't say that like my dad's the only one. He says, no, I'm going to continue to prove myself. So Nikki, what else could she say? And I think they ended the scene there, if I can remember question. I don't think we had too much conversation after that. Maybe they'll pick up where they left off, or did they? I don't know. I can't remember. After the main points in the scene happens, it's done for me. I just like the fact that he came right there and addressed it right in front of Nikki. So Nikki couldn't say, I didn't say that, darling. He always twists words. No, there was your opportunity to say, no, Adam, I didn't say that to you. She was busted. And her face looked like she was busted too. Because see, nobody could say anything against your darling children. Sorry, I should say adults. Nicholas and Vicky. So now let's get to the good nitty gritty. The good part is, oh, you know what I'm glossing over? Tucker talks to Audra. They end up, she comes in, I'm knocking on his door, coming in, kissing him. We already know what's going to happen there. We have Abby, annoying Abby, burst into Tucker's room. And I'm not, I fast forward. She goes home. Mariah, fast forward, talking to Devon. Abby comes in, says a few things relating to Mariah, because Devon tells her, then immediately goes into Tucker, my fast forward. And she then realizes Tucker's his father. So you can't say too much, Abby. But I'm sorry, everybody. Abby does not have a life of her own. For her to get herself this worked up over other people's actions, and the character has always been that way. Always pouting, always trying to control what other people do. And then expect somebody to go along with her. Shut up, Abby. Just So anyway, I fast forward the rest of them, right? Because it was just meaningless. We get Victoria. He comes in, she's sitting down. Why, Daddy? I bet I know why you're here. And he looks at her, really? Yeah, and he sits down. You're wondering what's my reaction on the news Nick gave about not coming back to Newman Enterprises. And Daddy, Nick is Nick. I don't know why. Nick, his reasoning for not wanting to work here is because he doesn't trust Nate, which is completely out of line. But yet he would go and work with Adam, who, what did she say, is one of the worst people on the planet that you can't trust. What did she say? Who is more unworthy of trust than Adam, is what she says. And Victor kind of leans back and he's looking at her. Because remember, she was over to the house bashing Adam and how he shouldn't even carry the Newman. And Victor's just, okay, Vicky. And so she says, and he goes, no, I've been doing some thinking. And she goes, yeah, I know that we have a key level, the co-CEO position that's unfilled, and it needs to be filled immediately. He says, well, Sharon, Nick has just made his decision. He will cool down and he might come back. Well, I'm not going to wait for whatever Nick might do. That position needs filling. And I am suggesting or nominating or whatever she said that Nate Hastings be promoted and fill that position immediately. And Victor just looks at her. And he says, you're right, that position does need to be filled, but it ain't gonna be by Nate Hastings. And she looks like, what do you mean? And so Victor is like, she goes, well, you've already put mom over at Newman Media. You've done some. He goes, yeah, I know, and I've got some more. I've got someone in mind. So she goes, Daddy, it had better not be Adam. It had better. Adam is not. Oh, she see, she goes right back to bashing Adam, right? And so Victor says, no, it's not going to be Adam. He says, I'm filling that position with you. And she looks. He said, because I am coming back and I am taking over the CEO position here at Newman Enterprises, and you will work as my co-CEO. And he takes out his cell phone and she says, wait, what? My track record has been exemplary. I have grown this company. And as she is ranting at him, everybody, Victor Newman did a Victor Newman. He don't lift his head up from his cell phone. He's searching, he's typing, he's reading his email. As she's talking, I was like, yes. Because for him, that's almost like the ultimate sign of he's disrespecting you very subtly. He'll do that when a meeting's over. He'll take out his cell phone and start, as the other person's talking, and say, that'll be all. Wait, that'll be all. And she stood up and she went to get herself a drink of water as she's wrapping up. See, no wonder, this is what Nick talks about. Oh, now she's on Nick's side talking about daddy. You come in and you do this, you do. Oh. And then he looked up at her as she's standing there. He goes, I don't get, and I don't curse everybody, but look, on the daily recaps. He says, I don't give a damn what you think. And she didn't know what to do. This is my company. I make the decisions. And she stormed out of there Like she see, Victoria was always able to pout and do whatever she wanted, get rid of her brother so that her boyfriend could have his brothers. But oh, she could do anything. I make the decisions. Well, daddy just schooled her, smacked her down. She leaves out of there. Now, mind you, Nate, who spends his whole days drinking on and off, and with Audra, he has to meet her at least 2-3 times a day, right? They're in the jazz lounge drinking, and Tucker comes in. I'm not boring conversation. Fast forward, fast forward. Nate gets a text from Victoria saying, "Where are you? I'm in the lobby, or I'm in the dining area of the GCAC." So he goes, "Look, I gotta go." So he goes over to her, and she's at the bar sitting there. And he's like, Vic, what's going on? Because he was just telling Audra before Tucker got there, Victoria knows how to handle her parents. She's gonna try to get me in that co-CEO position. She's trying to work her own. Audra's like, don't be mistaken. Your last name is not Newman. And if there's one thing I've learned about them, they're going to only let you get so far, which is true. Neil learned the hard way. What did Victor tell Nate about Neil? And what did he warn Nate not to think or do, that he was going to be promoted too far in that company? He said, that's the problem. And he goes, and Neil's my best friend. But Neil's last name is not Newman. He was never going to inherit the CEO position. He filled in for a short period as we grew my children. They were young. But no matter how hard Neil worked, he goes, and Neil felt he deserved it. He goes, and his track record, he did. He goes, but that's not my plan for my company business. My family will always be at the top. Meaning, you see a COO right now. Don't let little Johnny or Connor get in their 20s, because it's going to always be my family, buddy. Don't you forget it. So anyway, Nate is just looking, but Audra was saying, you better get a plan B. So as he's looking at Victoria, she goes, my father just demoted me. And Nate is like, wait, what? I'm the co-CEO. He is stepping back as CEO. He says that things had gotten laxed around there. And Nate said, in his mind, what about my position? Right? But he goes, what are you going to do? She goes, I'm so upset. I'm so angry. I don't know. He goes, and you know what? A decision. She goes, I can't make a decision of this magnitude when I'm upset. He goes, no, and that's a good idea. Don't. So of course they go up to the hotel room, like, because Nate's the answer to all your tensions and anxieties. And at the end, then now we really get the timeline when Adam is coming in and talking to Nikki and Victor. And then at the last scene of the show, or one of the last scenes, Victoria was talking to Nate, and he goes, you feel better now? She goes, you have the magic cure, whatever he says, right? She says, yeah, I'm going to fight my father. And I'm going to show that he is not capable of taking over the reins at Newman. And Nate just looks at her like, okay, right? Okay. See, we like a little mess like that. Well, watch, Victoria. You're going to mess around. You're going to try to undermine the master of underminers, which is your daddy. And you're going to get caught. And he demoted you there. That's not as far down as he'll demote you. But good. Let's see what Victoria thinks she got. I would love to see that. Let's see what she thinks she got against Daddy Dearest. That's going to be good. That's going to be really good. Let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. We got a few comments here. Brooklyn says, if Tucker takes over the Abbotts, it would be interesting since Adam turned down Billy's offer that could that he could use against Tucker. I would love Adam to bring down Tucker with the quickness. Thank you, Daily Recap Lady. Love your cute face when you mention my favorite girl, Phyllis. I like Phyllis, but Phyllis hasn't changed. Well, and guess what? Do we want her to change? No, but she's coming back. I've changed. Yeah, you ain't changed, Phyllis, right? So here's the thing. If Tucker takes over Jabot, it's going to be a hostile takeover. The information about the artists and the cover-up, that is not anything that's going to end Tucker's career whatsoever, because he wasn't at the helm. You see, he and Ashley were just starting out trying to build a brand new brand. And you don't want news like that when you're trying to come out with a brand new company, a brand new brand. But you're a mogul, hostile takeover, you could care less about any of that. He could care less. You mean it might tarnish Jabot? Jabot has its own name and always has had its own name. That'll do nothing to Jabot. Tucker could care less. That is not ammunition that's going to do anything to Tucker whatsoever. Brooklyn also says, I think Tucker is going to use Phyllis by telling her Kyle has moved on. And if she wants to get back at the Abbotts together, we'll see. Phyllis didn't want to be under his thumb because he was horrible. Phyllis knows how horrible he talked to her when he thought he had leverage on her. I would never work with him. I don't care if we did have the same goal. Tucker showed her how he would treat her. And then LaShunta says, they say Vicky lied to Victor on Adam and he merged. I don't remember a lie. I don't remember that. LaShunta says, I'm so sick of Billy. I knew he forgave Diane and Jack too easy. Jack knows something. Jack knows something's up. No, Tucker said Jack got too much influence over Ashley. You mean her brother that she's loved all her whole life? It's not that she has too much influence over Ashley. That's her brother. And her brother and her have had a tumultuous on again, off again relationship. They even had the flashback when she was young and her dad was there saying, my beauty, this whole rift between you and Jack, this fighting has got to stop, right? That has not changed. But see, she walks away and she comes back. Tucker wants her to walk away and forget she has family. And she's not, Ashley led him on. Yes, she did. Whatever. Tucker, you were stupid. Am I looking for Tucker to shake things up? Yep. Let's get interesting because he can be. So let's do it. And then LaShunta says, I can't stand Audra. She's a snake. Which Summer made her own choices. Yes, she did. She says Phyllis does too much. And then she talked about Audra's a snake again. Tucker is mad at Ashley. Devon won't go for it. Devon needs to stay out of it. He really does. It has nothing to do with him. And it really has nothing to do with Abby. Get out of it. Just stay out of it. And worry about why you and Abby haven't progressed. Sabrina says, hey, Daily Recap Lady, great recap. Phyllis has not changed. She is the reason I look at Y&R. She is so messy. Heather knows what Phyllis is up to, and it doesn't bother her. And neither is Daniel, despite his protesting. I know. Secretly, I think Daniel wants his family back together again. I agree with you. I want bad Tucker back. Just my thoughts. But thanks for the comment corner. I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap of The Young and the Restless.